Hey, what's going on, Read My Lips people? We're back. So look, this was bound to happen, and I knew it was on the horizon. I just didn't know when. But it's here, and it's pretty much the whole Bernie Bros smear shit that was around 2016. But this time, instead of Hillary Clinton being the center of it, now it's Elizabeth Warren. Okay? So I first had an inkling this was gonna happen when there was an interview. So I think it's Emma Vigeland. I'm pretty sure it's Emma. Went and did some interviews to Elizabeth Warren supporters. Okay? And I'm gonna be clear and upfront, right? Because I like to be fair and I like to keep it honest. Two of the supporters that spoke gave very good, detailed explanations as to why they were supporting Elizabeth Warren. And I have nothing against what they said. It all made sense, and all I can do is give a head nod and acknowledge it. Look, Andrew Yang supporters, you know, when I talk to, out of everybody on my channel that I talk to the most, Tulsi supporters, Bernie supporters, and Yang supporters. Those are the people that tend to flock to my channel the most. And listen, Yang supporters, when they give me their reasoning as to why they're voting for Yang, and why they're headed in that direction, and why they're the Yang gang, 99% of the time, it's clear-headed, concise answers, right? And all I can do is acknowledge it and give my head nod, right? So Elizabeth Warren had two supporters that were interviewed that gave great answers, and I can't argue against it. However, there were two that gave abysmal answers. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch that, and then we're going to come back.
She's not my candidate yet, 100%. I like Pete Buttigieg, but I like her. I like that she has a plan.
All right. So it's between her and Pete Buttigieg.
Oh yeah, but also maybe even Amy Klobuchar and Cory Booker. I'm not even close to picking one person yet. But if I'm gonna go for somebody like on the left side of the spectrum, it's going to be Elizabeth Warren as opposed to any of the others like Bernie or anybody like that.
So why not Bernie?
It's time for a woman, is all. I mean, Bernie's over and done. Didn't do it the last time. Elizabeth has more energy. I think she's got more intelligence. So
I think more people can relate to her, and I like that she's a woman, and she's very smart. She's very sharp. I mean, I'm not sure any of them are quite as smart as she is.
Bernie's a great guy, and he's fought really hard, but I just don't think that people are going to elect someone of that age, unfortunately. And it would be great to see a woman president. I think that this country elected Barack Obama, the first African American president. We can't elect the first woman. I think that's where this country needs to go.
Okay, so that was even hard to get through. So, complete bullshit. Literally making shit up. She's got a plan for everything, and you know, how smart she is, how she got a plan for everything, and the worst of it, it's time for a woman president. What the fuck are you talking about? If there's two things that grind my gears, if there's two things that annoy the hell out of me, it is race politics. If you're talking about, oh, we need a Hispanic president, oh, we need a black president, oh, we need blah blah blah, whatever, insert with whatever ethnicity you want to be president, that annoys me. And then of course talking about we need a president based on gender. And number three is so and so should be president because of age, because they're younger. Stupid shit like that really gets under my skin. Like, you can go fuck about the president's age, Okay, I can give two shits about the president's gender, and I can care less about the president's race. Those things do not matter. And when you say something ridiculous like it's quote unquote time for a woman president, well, where did you read that? Where did you come up with that conclusion? That's ridiculous, right? The best candidate and the person who does the best should become president, full stop. I don't care what their race is. I don't care what their gender is. So I can't take people like that serious. Those two people that are like, oh, well, it's time for a woman president. I can't take you serious. You're not a serious actor, right? When you're ready to come to the adult table and talk to us, then come to the adult table. But that is an abysmal answer, right? I can't take you serious. But that's not mainly what this video is about. That was sort of the like I was like, because I honestly, surprisingly, I wasn't hearing that before. You know, when I was talking to people, and I know some Warren supporters, and when I was talking to people, they weren't really bringing up the fact that she's a woman, right? Oftentimes they talk about policy, and I was completely okay with that. And I wasn't hearing any of the, oh, it's time for a woman bullshit, right? Her genitalia wasn't coming into question. So this was the first inkling I saw of it. And I was like, I'm not really feeling this. I hope nothing, transpires from this. I hope people aren't getting themselves in that mindset. And then this happened. MSNBC had a guest, and this statement was made.
There's a ceiling. There is nowhere to go, but there is no up to go. And all of those support, I actually overheard someone saying that I thought was an interesting point, that basically at this point, if you are still supporting Sanders as opposed to Warren, it's kind of showing your sexism, because she has more detailed plans and her plans have evolved. I thought it was an interesting point, and I think there may be something to it.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
It's a good answer, Chris.
So there you have it. If you are a Bernie supporter, you are sexist. Well, shame on everybody on that show. Nobody spoke up. Nobody said, whoa, wait. How the fuck can you say something like that? Nobody. Dude was even like, I gotta agree with you. I have to agree with you. Are you serious? How do you even realize what the fuck was just said? Policy be damned, right? No, there's no other reason to not like or to not want to vote for Elizabeth Warren. Like, you really just tossed every other possible reason aside. Everything. And you narrowed it down to, yeah, if you're not voting for Warren, you're probably sexist if you're a Bernie supporter. You gotta be kidding me. And look, there's other channels that's covered this. There's other progressive channels much bigger than mine that's covered this. And, they've got on them about it. But they weren't outraged enough. Because to me, when I hear this, it gives me a visceral reaction. My visceral reaction when I see this is to say, fuck it. There is no possible way Warren would ever get my vote in any circumstance. That's the reaction when you say something like that. That's the reaction I have, right? And it really irks me because, like, how dare you? How dare you? And first of all, we know who you are. We know who your parents are. Okay, fucking billionaires. All right. We don't even want to hear. I don't want to hear from you. Why are you ever on the show? I mean, she reeks of corporate Democrat as it is, which is already one issue. But then to make a statement like this, and nobody gave any pushback. Nobody gave any pushback. So, does it just stop for the Bernie supporters? What about the Andrew Yang supporters? Are they sexist too? They're not voting for a woman. It's weird because for the longest amount of time, Tulsi Gabbard was my number 2. Now, recently she came out with Medicare Choice. I'm not on board with that. I dropped her to number 3. I guess I'm fucking sexist, right? Bernie Sanders supports women's rights more than anybody on that fucking stage. Are you kidding me? So to say something that is such a... I almost at a loss for words. Like, I don't know what irritates me more. The fact that she said that statement, or the fact that there was no pushback. There was no pushback. Nobody was even like, well, I don't necessarily agree with that. Nope, you just let it fly and go into the atmosphere. That's pathetic. You guys are pathetic. And, not too long ago, if you remember her name, let me know in the comment section. There was a girl that was talking and said, I don't know what it is. She was getting interviewed. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about him, but he makes my skin crawl. Are you fucking kidding me? If you know who said that, let me know in the comment section. Her name's on the tip of my tongue. It's not coming to me, but let me know in the comment section. Imagine substituting Bernie's name for somebody else. Can you imagine if a Bernie supporter went on any of these shows and was like, yeah, I don't know what it is about Elizabeth Warren, but she makes my fucking skin crawl. Oh my God, they'd have a field day. Just imagine. Just imagine. Can you imagine any Bernie supporter going on any of these news shows and saying, look, if you're not supporting Bernie Sanders, you fucking hate men. You're a man hater. You're a man basher. Can you imagine that? Oh, they'd have a field day. She says this, just goes by the wayside. More than the wayside. The motherfucker said, I kind of agree. That is absurd. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Bernie supporters are probably some of the most policy-driven people there are. So, listen, no shots at the Yang supporters or the Tulsi supporters. Obviously, you guys care about policy too. But I'm not believing anybody that's supporting Kamala Harris cares about policy or knows what the fuck they're talking about. Or Pete Buttigieg. Or Cory Booker. But, I digress. Some of the most policy-driven people there are. Right? So, what about Elizabeth Warren is not for eliminating student loan debt. All student loan debt. She's not for that. Bernie Sanders is. That can make someone decide who they want to go for right there. But nope. Fuck that. It's because you don't like women. Wow. And I mean, whoever's watching this channel, you guys have probably seen this clip or both these clips floating around. I just had to speak on it and just letting it fly. Like, I mean, yes, in the new independent news and news online has said something about it, but these news stations just let it go. They just let it go. And if you were to, take what she said and insert, anything else, or if you were to take somebody else and say what she said in a different context, they'd be fucking castrated. It's a damn shame. So yeah, when I hear this, my visceral reaction is I don't want to support Elizabeth Warren in the least bit. I don't? Okay, all right, whatever you say. No support for women. That's my visceral reaction. But you gotta, kind of keep your emotions in check and use your brain and use logic, because this upcoming election is really significant. All right, so yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think if you're a Bernie supporter that you don't like women, or if you're a Yang supporter that you don't like women, or if you support Pete Buttigieg you don't like women? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear your take. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, and subscribe. If not, let me know in the comment section why. I'm always down to talk about it. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.